Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And here with me today, I have another one of these diamonds in the rough from the mines. His name is Mason Pierce. He's defensive back from Colorado School of Mines. So nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me on.
I had to throw in a little corny thing about diamonds from the mine. So I know it sounds bad.
I got it. I
I'm
picked it
sorry,
up.
it's a bad dad joke. But hey, I know you Mines really had an awesome year this past season. We'll try our best to talk through some of that. But I kind of am just curious about your own personal story. So tell me a little bit about where you're from and how you ultimately got there to your school.
Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up just north of San Antonio. I went to Smithson Valley High School. A lot of good football, a lot of good football players coming out of that area. We were 6A, so we played a lot of a lot of guys that are in the NFL currently. Um, but yeah, I grew up there. I was always the small guy, um, late bloomer. I got senior year. Um, I knew I wanted to play football or baseball. I was kind of up in the air between both of them. Um, but ultimately, my heart was set on football. Really from me being a little kid. That's what I dreamed of is playing in the NFL. So, um, Mines, I also valued school, obviously, going there, doing engineering. Um, so really it was the best of both worlds, obviously. We have 4 straight conference championships at Mines, and a hell of a engineering degree, so to go along with it.
Yeah, just looking at what you guys were able to do this past season, really having a very well balanced team, both on the offensive and defensive side of things. But yeah, like you saying, also a really good school for guys who want to be engineers. So getting that degree certainly something worth having.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
coming out of San Antonio, man, was that always going to be the spot for you, or did you have any other options?
I had other options. Like I said, it was Mines was just the best school and football program that I saw fit for me. And the guys, you can't say good enough good things about the guys that are on that team. I mean, it's, I think the school makes you a little more close knit than a lot of programs, just because it's so difficult. You kind of rely on each other. Um, but yeah, that's out of high school. Obviously, I wanted to go play Big D1, Power Five. Like anybody else would. But I think mine was the spot for me, and I have no regrets on taking that
Well,
opportunity.
well, it was ultimately where you were supposed to be. Because you guys closed up things really nicely last season. Um, so go ahead and talk to me for a little bit about y'all's defense. I know that there's a lot of great talent there, but first off, can you kind of, I don't know, how would you describe that defense and how you're utilized in it?
Yeah. So it's really um, it's like a 3x2 or a 4x2, and with kind of two Leo and star backers, kind of in between D line and linebacker. Um, and then obviously like strong safety, free safety, corners. We kind of say boundary corner, which is what I played. Um, Mainly as a side of the field that you can kind of eliminate. Be more man coverage for my end. Um, but man, overall, playmakers are all over the field. Um, it's running to the ball. It's high effort. That's really was a motto of our defense. It's keep it tight. It was our motto. Coach Beemore, he kind of installed that when he was the defensive coordinator. Um, and it's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of dudes that you can rely on for sure.
Yeah, and so Also, I think a lot of people, when they look at you, they see an excellent special teamer. Talk to me about what you've been able to do on special teams, either as a returner or a guy in coverage.
Yeah, so I've been able to do punt returner for the past 2 years. I would have done it my sophomore year, but I had surgery on my hand, so I had a cast on that arm. That's why I broke the season record for PBUs, I guess. Um, but yeah, no, I mean I've always loved having the ball in my hands. Growing up, I've always thought that I would probably end up being a little slot receiver. Um, but I mean, it turned out well. I mean, I broke the average record for season and career. The season was 19 yards per return, and then career was like 16.7. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed that. Kind of got a step away from just being in man all game. It was nice to kind of let loose and make things happen, get good positioning for John and the offense.
So, what do you think separates you as a prospect? I mean, do you think it is your ability to, be a solid contributor on special teams? I mean, what do you again? Just kind of want to hear your take on maybe some of your better attributes as a player.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, special teams can be a foot in the door for anybody. And I mean, attention to detail growing up, special teams was always had a high emphasis. I mean, we always say that a few plays can dictate the game, and special teams often plays a role in those few plays. And I enjoy being on those units, just because you can be a part of a play that makes a difference in the game.
Great. I mean, and obviously you have. I mean, you've made a whole lot of great plays, and I kind of want to, I don't know, maybe think about two contrasting moments for you there at Mines. Uh, Talk to me first about your very first game there that you started at your position. So that being on defense. Can you talk to me about that very first game? Do you remember?
I do. So yeah, it was 2018. I was a true freshman, and actually our DB coach got hurt. Current DB coach, I played with him for 2 years. So I got the start, and first play of the game, I got a PBU. Um, it was cool. It was cool to step into that role, especially having it's Anthony McCransky, our DB coach at Mines. He was the former boundary corner. It was cool having him as a mentor, kind of. He was also seeking NFL or just professional career, but he got that ended with an injury, and um, he helped me along the way. And I mean, it was awesome. I mean, from there, I started every single game except for Fort Lewis in 2019, because that was the week I had surgery on my hand. But yeah.
Yeah. And so again, that was your first start, but obviously your last start, something very memorable. So talk to me about that game.
Yeah, I mean, the whole atmosphere around the D2 national championship was awesome. That whole week, I mean, it was a high on life for sure. Um, Obviously, I wish it came out a little better, but it was a time of a lifetime, and I'll remember it forever. I mean, it was a high quality opponent for sure. Um, no doubt. I mean, they were athletic. They had a good scheme against us. Um, and unfortunately, that game was a little frustrating because I didn't get much action. I think I had one ball thrown to me, but I mean, other than that, man, I mean, I have nothing but good things about that week, and I'll memorize it forever.
Yeah, I mean, it's something definitely that's very memorable. I mean, ultimately, getting to the national championship for the very first time, in program history had to be something great.
Yeah.
You talked a little bit about, your, I don't know, your experience overall. I mean, being a boundary corner, but I know you've also played a little bit of safety. Where do you see yourself projecting to the next level? Do you see yourself being a corner, a safety, a nickel, or what? Where are you going to fit in as you progress forward?
Yeah. So, I mean, sophomore year, I played a little bit of free safety. I always thought that was probably more of my natural position. But later on, obviously, I kind of got groomed into being the boundary corner. That requires the most man coverage. Um, so, I mean, in the next level, I would like to say, I mean, I could play anywhere on the DB in the defensive back room, or punt returner. I mean, I always saw myself as being a slot receiver, so I think I can still possibly do that. I did high school. I was all state at receiver. So, I mean, I would say any of those three, I think I could excel at whatever comes my way. I think I'd be able to take it on.
It's definitely interesting. Every so often there will be a person who does a position switch when they get to the pros. I have seen wide receivers, switch to corners. It doesn't often happen the other way around, but I mean, why not? So, you could certainly go in there and do that. So, great career you were able to really put together there at Colorado School of Mines, and obviously right now, your goal is to get to the next level. You're training, you're getting yourself prepared for that. Um, what's happening these days, man? Can you kind of elaborate on at least what happens on the day to day with you?
Yeah. So I'm currently training at Elite Speed here in Denver, Colorado, with a few other guys. We got Isaac Cochran and then Rajay Johnson. So it's fun to be around those guys. And then throughout the whole day, I also work in a manufacturing engineer position at Big Metal Additive. So I kind of balance both of those and then go home to the wife for the rest of the day. Not
Nice,
as much
man.
time as she wished, but
Well, hey, as long as you go home and she's happy, that's all that counts.
yeah,
So,
absolutely.
um, cool, Mason. So, why don't we go ahead? I am curious a little bit more about you. Something that's not football. Let's talk something not football for just a few minutes. Give me something interesting about yourself, whether it be hobbies or whatever. But go ahead and give me something worth sharing.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, my whole life, it's really revolved around sports. Growing up in Texas, we do a lot of hunting and fishing and all that type of stuff. I mean, obviously, a lot of that goes on down there, but growing up, we lived on basically on the Guadalupe River. Um, and so that was always a big spot to go hang out and float the river, go fishing and all that stuff. Um, but yeah, I mean, really all of that. And then, I mean, any type of sport, honestly, I've always tried to be good at, I guess. But yeah, I've always navigated to some type of competitive environment.
Nice. Trying to think of a couple more things just to ask you that are non-football. And you said that you are from like the San Antonio area, right?
Yep.
Buddy, if I had to come visit you in your hometown, again, you talked about the the river and whatnot, but like, is there a local hot spot there that people do go to hang out?
Like on the river or
Like a restaurant or like a mall or something? Like, where do you guys go, other than like outside? I mean, is there anything at all to do?
yeah, I mean it's a pretty small town. It's kind of blowing up right now, but growing up it was we're a 4A high school, so it was I mean it's a very big district or county. so it's pretty spread out. There's a lot of land, a lot of cow patties everywhere. But I mean, there's spots, yeah. I mean, all the ones I'm thinking of are shut down now.
That's sad, man. Let's talk about
I
something that's not
know,
so
I know.
sad. You a big movie guy?
Yeah, yeah, I like movies.
All right, give me one of your favorite movies.
One of my favorite movies. So it's kind of like a series, but it's Lonesome Dove. It's an old time. It's like 1980s, maybe 1989, I think.
That's so
It's like,
country, man.
but
It's it's so
I mean,
funny.
yeah, I mean, I grew up watching movies, Western movies with my grandfather, so kind
Okay,
of.
well, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. To each their own. So that's all good. You a country guy when it comes to music too, man? Like, what do you what's your vibe on that front?
Yeah, I like country music. I mean, I like all kinds of music. I like classic rock. I like the Eagles, like all that type of stuff. Joe Walsh. I mean, I like really all kinds of music. Um, Rap. I like another one, I guess. I like Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin type stuff.
So man, you got like an old soul, man. That's so crazy to hear that from you, but certainly great to share. Mason, let's move forward a little bit. Really appreciate meeting you outside of being a football player, of
Yes.
course, but like we said, man, you're training right now out in Colorado and looking to, you know, I don't know. Do you have a pro day set up? I mean, is that already in the works or what?
Yeah, so I mean, I was gonna go to CU. We kind of ran into a couple problems. We're trying to iron that out. But a couple other options, obviously Air Force and CSU. Um, but me and my agent are looking to iron all that out, and just looking forward to that day for sure.
Gotcha. So hopefully that'll come up for you here soon. As we close up shop for this interview, I do want to give you the opportunity to talk to all them scouts out there. Tell them why they're sleeping on you, why you need to be a part of their program. Go ahead and hit them with your pitch. Okay, go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I've obviously Mines has been a great program over the past 4 years. Um, Me personally, man, I have 5 records. I had 53 passes defended over my career. Set the single season record twice for PBUs. And then punt return, I had the season yards and then season average and career average. Um, I mean, I have more of a quiet confidence, but man, I'm ready to go. I mean, I can't wait for an opportunity. I think I deserve one. Hopefully, I get one. Um, but yeah, man, I mean, pro day come up, and hopefully, I'll be able to show what I have to offer.
Nice. Well, again, we got a Division II All-American who can do a lot of different things for an NFL team, whether that be corner, safety, special teams ace. So hopefully you'll get your opportunity on either of those side of things. But Mason, do want to wish you best of luck in this process. All right.
Thank you.
All right, man. Well, once again, we got Mason Pierce. He's defensive back at a Colorado School of Mines. Certainly check him out.